Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about Ford and how I am worried about Ford over the long term. With that being said, as always, if you're going to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Why would I ever be concerned with Ford when they are one of the largest automakers on the planet, selling millions of cars per year and generating billions of dollars worth of revenue selling those cars? They are one of the oldest automakers on the planet and frankly one of the most iconic. When you think of automotive industry, you honestly think of Ford, Model T, the assembly line, Ford Mustang, Ford versus Ferrari. Like there's so many iconic things like events and products and just things that are associated with Ford. Like you just like the automotive industry and Ford, they are pretty much one. And so it would seem that Ford is unstoppable, but that is not the case. Now, the pandemic has changed a lot for the world and for the automotive industry, and some automakers are figuring things out and they are moving on and becoming better than they ever were, and other automakers are frankly getting left in the dust. And Ford right now is currently in this gray area, which is kind of strange because right now they probably have the best product lineup that they have ever had. They have so many iconic vehicles for sale and demand is absolutely through the roof, right? Think Ford Raptor, Ford Bronco Raptor, F-150 Lightning, Ford Mustang Mach-E, and the list just goes on and on. There are so many cars that Ford sells right now that are in just such high demand. And so on the surface, it looks like, again, Ford is unstoppable because everyone wants their new product. But that, frankly, is part of the problem that we are experiencing is Ford has a lot of really good product that their engineers have done an amazing job with producing, but they can't actually implement into production at scale that makes sense for buyers and for the market as a whole. The point that I'm trying to make here is that demand for Ford products is so much higher than supply that is actually devaluing Ford. Now, it's not devaluing their product in the sense of resale value because resale value in Ford product right now is absolutely sky high. It is just ridiculous. Like, yeah, and it's part of the problem, right? The problem is Ford's brand image, their reputation. That is what is getting devalued right now because Ford is known for building good products that are attainable for pretty much everyone. Think the Model T, for example, right? Ford mastered production with that vehicle and produced so many and made it so affordable that pretty much everyone in America owned one at the time of production. And Ford kind of continued that as things went on. Look at the F-150, right? America's best-selling pickup truck for decades. Look at the Ford Mustang as well. Like Ford just knows how to produce vehicles and they know how to keep costs down so that everyone can afford them, whether you're someone who makes $1 bajillion or, someone who just has a regular blue-collar job. But that is slowly not becoming the case anymore. A really good example is the Ford Maverick. This was supposed to be an affordable mini pickup truck or SUV with a truck bed, whatever you want to call it. And what has ultimately happened is it is a mini truck SUV with a truck bed thing that is not affordable whatsoever. If you look at used Mavericks right now, they're all selling for like $40,000 plus. And good luck getting a dealer to sell you one at MSRP. And yes, some dealers might do it, but for the most part, most dealers know they can get more money out of these trucks because, again, demand is so much higher than supply. And so, again, this ruins Ford's brand image because when they're known for building cars in large quantities that are very competitive within their segment and affordable, and that's not what's happening anymore, people are like, well, what's Ford all about? And that is what could cause the collapse of Ford at this point, is nobody seems to know what Ford is about. Now, this is obviously an extremely complicated situation, and finding an answer is not easy whatsoever. However, I do think there are some things that Ford could do to fix like 90% of the problem, which is enough to keep their reputation in good standing, make most of their customers happy, and allow them to move forward from the potential downfall that they are running into. So first off, I don't think that Ford should prevent their engineers and their artists and all those people associated with producing new vehicles from producing new vehicles. But I do think that they should stop releasing or announcing new vehicles. Ford is about to officially announce the new Mustang. I think that they should just stop releasing new product because Releasing new product is very complicated for a manufacturer. That means that they have to retool factories. There's new features that require different supplies, which means they have to set up new supply chains, which is obviously already an issue right now. And so they should probably stop releasing new product right now. I understand that some people are gonna be like, well, that's gonna make it so that they are behind compared to other manufacturers. It's like, no, they can still have their engineers and everyone work on this new product and release it at a later date. But right now, they have way too much demand on their current product and they need to start fulfilling more orders. And it is, like I said, a massive issue. I talked to a lot of different Ford dealers, and right now, if a Ford dealer does not charge any markup over MSRP on new orders, they are literally sold out on almost every single vehicle for half a decade plus. Like, it is that bad. And the thing is, Ford doesn't know that it's that bad because Ford has an allocation system with their ordering process. So basically what they do is they tell a dealership, okay, you're going to get this many of this vehicle. And so then the dealership goes and quickly puts in orders for that allocation set. And so then Ford goes, oh, cool, we got a full order set with this vehicle. But what Ford doesn't know is that behind those few allocations they gave that dealership, there is a line of people that is absolutely enormous. So the other thing that Ford needs to do is they need to let every single customer put in an order with dealerships on the vehicle that they want to purchase. This is what Stellantis dealers let their customers do. And if you guys don't know Stellantis, that's the company that's over like Dodge, Ram, Jeep, and Chrysler, for example. So like if I want to go and order any product from them, I just go into the dealership and the dealership gets the specs that I want on that vehicle and they submit it to the factory. Now the factory doesn't immediately pick up the order and start producing it, but what they do is they look at the order. So they know, okay, there is this customer that lives in this state that wants this vehicle. So we know that there is demand for at least that. And then they literally go through and look through all the orders. And so they know how much demand they have on different vehicles. So then they know, okay, this month we need to focus on building these. This month we need to focus on building these. But guess what? Ford can't do that right now because, again, they don't have that direct ordering system. They have an allocation system where they just tell dealers how many allocations they get, and then they have the orders sent over. And so they're basically telling dealers how much demand should be for certain vehicles, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever, especially in this post-COVID market where people just want what they want, right? People don't care about having the rarest vehicle anymore. They just want the vehicle that they want. And so those two main things, frankly, would fix things for Ford so much because, again, it would allow them to, if they stopped releasing new product, it would allow them and their factories to focus on building the product that they have right now to fulfill as many orders as they possibly can. And if they let people submit orders instead of giving dealerships allocations, then that would let Ford know how much demand they have for this product. So then that would in turn let them strategize over the next little bit because right now they're literally flying blind. Like the more that I learn about this, the more I'm just completely shocked. Like I don't understand how they are able to survive not knowing like what's happening with the product. That is pretty much going to sum things up for today's video. And like I said, there is no simple fix for this issue. Even the solutions that I outlined obviously aren't perfect, but it's at least a move in the right direction with all of the research that I've made. But Ford needs to do something. That is the big message of this video because Ford is nearing a breaking point where they are going to lose a lot of future customers, not because their product's not good enough, but simply because they aren't building enough of what people actually want to buy. And there's that saying that like it takes decades to build a reputation and it takes just a few moments to crumble it. And Ford is currently going through those few moments because when people can't order what they want from Ford and they have to pay huge markups because the dealers know they can charge those markups because Ford just simply won't build enough of those vehicles, again, it erodes at that reputation and it pushes those people to purchase from other manufacturers. And once that reputation gets spoiled, man, it is a long journey to fix it. And so me being, someone that loves the Ford brand and has purchased a ton of Ford product is hoping that something changes in the near future so that customers can get taken care of and that, frankly, people can just buy what they want to buy. I'll see you guys.